In a dramatic shift of U.S. foreign policy, former President Trump has revealed startling details about his approach to ending the ongoing conflict between Russia and its western neighbor. The key revelation: a demand for $500 billion in rare earth minerals as compensation for American support. "We're not going to keep spending billions without getting something in return," Trump stated, highlighting a departure from the Biden administration's approach. This former Soviet republic, rich in natural resources including oil, gas, and rare earth elements, has shown willingness to consider this arrangement. The situation marks a transformation in international relations, moving from unconditional aid to a business-oriented transaction. "We can't continue to pour money into this conflict without securing our interests," Trump emphasized, noting American involvement has exceeded $350 billion in assistance. Trump addressed NATO's role, referencing his previous presidency. "I equalized payments and raised billions from NATO members who were delinquent. When I left office, the money was rolling in." He mentioned Canada's low contribution rates, suggesting a critique of alliance members' commitments. The region now faces a choice: agreeing to this mineral rights deal or potentially losing American support. This development raises questions about the future of international aid and alliance structures. Regarding peace negotiations, Trump expressed optimism about bringing both sides to the table, stating, "We've made tremendous progress in recent weeks." However, the specific mechanisms for achieving this remain unclear, given Russia's position and sovereignty concerns. This approach represents a fundamental shift in how the United States conducts international aid and military support, potentially setting precedents for future conflicts and alliances. Breaking news from the politically turbulent region, where a dramatic shift in international relations is unfolding. The White House's decisive move is sending shockwaves through European capitals. Former President Trump's America First approach has become a business proposition for the northern Black Sea region. Military support for $500 billion in rare earth metals. This contrasts sharply with previous unconditional aid policies. Vladimir Zelensky has responded with careful diplomatic maneuvering, suggesting those who help the most should profit the most. But does his country really have any choice? European leaders are furious. German Chancellor Scholz and EU Commission President von der Leyen are particularly outraged. After providing billions in unconditional support and maintaining sanctions against Russia, they're watching their influence fade as Washington claims resource rights. The situation reveals contrasting strategies. While Brussels provided unconditional support, Washington played a longer game. European leaders now realize they've been outmaneuvered in this high-stakes transaction. Von der Leyen's response highlights Europe's dilemma. After criticizing Trump for undermining Western unity, she met with his vice president, calling him an ally, showing the panic in European leadership. The territory is trading future economic potential for current military support. The question remains: is this a reasonable exchange? This marks the end of unconditional aid. Support now comes with explicit terms and mandatory payments. The White House's $500 billion demand signals a transformation in international support mechanisms, leaving European leaders questioning their diminished influence and past approach. Breaking news: former Soviet Republic faces critical turning point in strategic resources deal. In a significant development, a politically turbulent region bordering Russia finds itself at the center of a complex transaction that could reshape global power dynamics. Donald Trump's approach has exposed what Moscow has long suspected. This isn't about democracy, but a calculated business arrangement. Washington has finally acknowledged what we've always known, remarks Kremlin spokesman Dmitry Peskov. The deal, valued at $500 billion in rare earth metals, marks a shift from previous U.S. policies. The country frames this as a strategic victory, arguing these resources might otherwise have strengthened Moscow's military capabilities. Trump's approach is direct. We help, you pay. It's fair business. But the real target is China, as this move challenges Beijing's 80% dominance in the rare earth metals market. These elements, crucial for smartphones and military equipment, are the new oil. The decision to transfer these resources to the U.S. instead of China disrupts Beijing's monopoly, making America the dominant player in this strategic market. This contrasts with Biden's unconditional support approach. Trump's move could reshape the global resource landscape while making his predecessor's aid appear wasteful. The disputed territory now faces an existential dilemma regarding NATO aspirations and neutrality. How can they maintain independence while transferring valuable resources to Washington? This secret dealing with Trump might alienate European allies who have supported their cause. As Brussels watches with concern, the territory must carefully navigate these diplomatic waters. The stakes are high, and the consequences will reverberate far beyond their borders. Breaking news. Major shift in international relations reshapes Eastern European politics. In a dramatic turn of events, the politically turbulent region faces unprecedented challenges as former policies of unconditional Western support transform into strict business arrangements. The European Union questions its role in supporting a territory that's becoming a U.S. business asset. Moscow already controls significant mineral deposits in the eastern regions of the disputed territory. If Washington secures control over valuable rare earth metals, worth approximately $500 billion, the Kremlin might strengthen its military presence, potentially leading to formal annexation of additional territories. Under Trump's new no more blank checks policy, the former Soviet republic must trade its future assets for current support. This development has sent shockwaves through international diplomatic circles, with China expressing outrage, European leaders showing concern, and Moscow monitoring the situation. President Zelensky's administration faces an increasingly precarious position, balancing multiple competing interests. The northern Black Sea region's leadership must navigate between maintaining sovereignty and securing necessary support. European analysts suggest this could mark either the end of independent governance or the beginning of a more complex phase in the ongoing conflict. The shifting dynamics raise questions about NATO expansion, regional stability, and the balance of power between East and West. The international community watches carefully, understanding that the outcome could reshape geopolitical alignments for decades. These developments signal a fundamental change in how Western powers approach support for allies in contested regions. The implications extend beyond the immediate region, potentially affecting similar situations worldwide. Stay tuned for more updates as this story continues to develop.